Last week we started a bit of a new series where we dug into the backstory of one of the multiplayer maps in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. That map was Contraband. We looked at the backstory and how that map is really about two stranded sailors who got deserted on this island after their ship crashed and slowly went insane. A story that isn't presented to you by Treyarch, but if you dig into the Easter eggs of the map, you're able to find a deeper and pretty vibrant story. And you guys made it very apparent that you enjoyed that and wanted to see more. So here we are today looking at the backstory of Arsenal. And guys, of course, if you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, want this series to continue, the way to show me is by simply hitting that like button, because the more likes these videos get, it shows me that you enjoy it, and then I want to make more videos like this. But before we dive into Arsenal's backstory, I just wanted to let you guys know that later today, over on Twitch, I'm going to be streaming. My Twitch link is going to be the first link down in the description. I'm going to be playing some Black Ops 4, and whenever I stream, I pretty much always do an open lobby, which means you guys actually get the chance to play some Black Ops 4 with me. So if you just want to check out my stream, or you want to come and play some Black Ops 4 with me, check out that link. It'll be the first one down below, and hopefully I'll see you later today over on Twitch. But now I am going to shut up and tell you about the backstory of Arsenal. The map Arsenal in Black Ops 4 is home to the company Daisler Robotics and Engineering, a company that's woven way deeper into the Black Ops story than probably any of you know. You see, a lot of people assume that this map is where the score streaks for Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3 are made. And in saying that, you are 100% right. Strewn throughout the map, you can see several score streaks, including a Mantis testing facility off to one side of the map, in the very middle a helicopter being suspended in what seems like a water chamber, and off to the one side of the map being held by a crane, a crate full of Hellstorm missiles. But as it turns out, Daisler has actually been in the Black Ops universe for much longer. One example of this is off to the one side of the map. You can see the sign with 2025, and you can clearly see the AGR from Black Ops 2 slowly developing into the Mantis that we know in Black Ops 4. This can also be seen in another part of the room where Daisler is displaying some of the previous score streaks that they actually have worked on. Off to the left-hand side, you can see the RCXD, followed up by the Lightning Strike, AGR, Dragonfly, and then currently a piece of equipment that they are working on called the Wraps that we later get to see in Black Ops 3. Because remember, Black Ops 4 is a prequel to Black Ops 3. But also on this map, there are some giant statues of 1, a Dragonfly, and 2, the Lightning Strike airplane. Now, an important thing to note is that prior to Black Ops 4 coming out, a developer was talking specifically about this map and Daisler Robotics, saying that the first piece of equipment that they made for the military were the airplanes used for napalm strikes in Black Ops 1, or the Vietnam War. So from that, we can take away that Daisler has been involved in the military since at least 1955 to 2065 when Black Ops 3 takes place, because as we know, the Wraps that Daisler is working on are in Black Ops 3. Now, trying to dig deeper into Daisler by exploring this map is rather difficult to do. When you look at their computer systems, it appears that most of the computers are just security cameras queuing into the different areas of the facility. However, one thing that you can extrapolate a little bit is it appears that Daisler is working for the good guys. In a couple areas on the maps, you are able to find a couple file folders holding a bunch of privileged information that belong to the CIA. And as far as the information that these files actually gives you, it's really nothing. It's a bunch of blacked out lines saying that it's top secret, but the one thing that you can get from it is that this document is for the Chief of Operations, which means that Daisler is working with people all the way up in government, maybe even as high as the president himself. So from this, you can just assume that Daisler is a good guy, right? Well, no. Upon further investigating the map, one of the things that I found in fact, the exact same room is a tablet with a robot on it. But not just any robot. In fact, I've got sent this on Twitter by many people asking whether or not this is Reaper, the character from Black Ops 3. But when looking at this, this is not Reaper. It's actually the prequel to Reaper that is a score streak in Black Ops 3, known as the GI unit. Also the same robot that's used as the Safeguard robot in Black Ops 4. So why on earth would I say that this makes Daisler an evil company? Well, you may not remember, but in Black Ops 3, the GI unit robot were the robots you were actually fighting against in the campaign. They were used by the bad guys, which would make you assume that Deisler is actually selling these robots to both sides. Which, honestly, for weapon manufacturers isn't an uncommon thing. Even in today's economy, this is still happening, where weapon manufacturers will sell weapons to two countries who are fighting each other in the exact same war. But quite honestly, this is just the beginning of the seedy backstory of Deisler. The next thing that we get to see is actually a really odd relation between Blackout and this multiplayer map. So in the very middle room of Arsenal, we talked about it before, there is a helicopter testing facility. And off to one side of the room, there are a couple of whiteboards. And on the first whiteboard, we see an image of a helicopter almost being fried by some rays. But then off to the top, it says, identify what is causing failure at this point. So they are clearly testing something that is causing helicopters to fail. And upon investigating the other whiteboards, it almost appears as though they are trying to find a way to cause the helicopters to fail, which reminded me of something from Blackout. You see, if you fly a helicopter into the collapse in Blackout, it causes the helicopter to slowly break down and eventually fail. Now, the real interesting part about this is when you dive into the Blackout backstory, which I have made a video on previously. As it turns out, the person in the story named Savannah has created this Blackout mode with literally replicas of people to fight on these islands in designated areas to essentially eventually create super soldiers. So, in doing so, she added helicopters to the map, but didn't want these characters flying away. So how does she do that? With the collapse. The collapse causes helicopters to fail, making it so none of the characters within Blackout can fly away out of this designated zone. A pretty evil plan that Deisler appears to be a part of. Which means Deisler would also be the people who create the collapse, which is interesting because off to the edges of the map, there are several crates with the number 6 on them, possibly keying into the idea of Nova 6 gas, which many people believe is what the collapse is made of in Blackout. Now, another thing that someone found, he's actually my friend, his YouTube name is E. coli Espresso, I'll link to his channel down in the description. He also does these kind of story videos if you guys are interested in them. He actually found that if you go inside the vents and look down, there is something that you may see as a little bit familiar. Down below these vents, there is a server room. Now, we've actually seen a server room before in the Black Ops 4 story when all of these specialist characters are reunited with Jessica Mason and start fighting against Savannah. They are in a server room that looks extremely familiar to these servers that are underneath the vents here. So could Deisler be working with both sides, Savannah and Jessica as well? It's possible, but as of right now, this is just a theory. But believe it or not, that is not when shit hits the fan. This is. So as we know, with Black Ops 4, especially Blackout, Treyarch has really been trying to tie in the zombies universe with the multiplayer universe. And there is an absolute huge Easter egg on this map that does so. In the middle room, the helicopter testing facility that we talked about before, if you go off to one side, there is a schematic for something you may recognize. Something called the NPD, and to keep this short, this device was basically what Samantha was kept in, and she was essentially controlling the zombies with this device. So in recreating this device, like it seems Deisler is trying to do here, you would then be able to control zombies. Well, where's another area that we see zombies? Once again on the Blackout map. So Savannah may actually be working with Deisler to create an NPD so that she can use zombies on her Blackout maps, which would tie everything completely together and 100% explain how Savannah was able to get zombies onto the Blackout map. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the backstory of Arsenal, a map with a probably much darker backstory than you previously thought. But if you enjoyed this video and want to see more like this one, it'd be awesome if you could hit that like button. On top of that, let me know what you think down in the comments. Did I miss anything? Do you think this theory is cool? Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel and want to stay up to date on all my videos, the best way to do so is make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications on. And if you're doing nothing tonight, feel free to check out my Twitch. Like I said, first link down in the description. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this